Welcome back.
Right back at you, kid.
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Now we're back to the Caps Off podcast.
No,
You know what it is.
You welcome back.
No, welcome back, Felipe.
Welcome back, Felipe.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm back.
I love how
I was out for a second.
Yeah, the new apartment. I heard you're going no couch for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no
just
couch.
kinda-
We've been picnicking around the coffee table, so it's
kind of romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts my ankles. It hurts my back. It hurts my knees.
It's like one of those like Asian restaurants where you all have to sit on the
Yeah,
floor
it's-
right around
you
the
But they at
Shoes
least give you a
off?
pillow.
You take
That
your
is
shoes
true.
off?
Yeah.
We have like a little
Those
blanket.
are nice.
I started putting like my little slides under my ankles because when you sit crisscross, your ankles like hitting the ground and
Yeah.
it kind of hurts.
Yep.
So I put some cushion there. But yesterday we got some bar stools and we have an island, so now we're like actually
you got an
sitting somewhere
island.
and
Flex.
eating. Yeah.
Flex.
Yeah, it's definitely a flex. Definitely,
I got a
it's the
partial
highlight of
island,
the
but it's
apartment.
connected to the wall.
But it's an
Peninsula.
island.
That's called a
It's-
peninsula.
I have a peninsula.
That's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one.
Is that actually called
Yeah,
like
it
in
is.
kitchen terms? It's a peninsula.
I don't think in
I'm
kitchen
almost certain.
terms.
I'm
Well, you know what a
geographical,
peninsula.
sure.
You know what a peninsula is? Florida.
Yeah, it is. Hey, that's
I
guy
got you,
love-
bro.
That's
past
a
geography.
big ass peninsula.
Yeah, it's
bro.
huge.
If it's actually called, it is called a peninsula.
That's exactly what it's called.
Wow.
I didn't make that
Oh,
up. I
wow.
wasn't going to pull that out of my ass.
But it would make sense even
called
if
a
you
peninsula.
did. It would make sense even if you did pull it
Yeah,
out of your
but
ass.
that's
I
what
thought you were like yeah.
No.
So do you have an
that's legit
island or
what it's called.
peninsula?
I have an island.
Oh,
Flat
shit.
out. It's floating.
I have
Trust
a
me.
peninsula then.
You have a peninsula?
I have a peninsula.
That's ass. Peninsula's
Matan,
a solid dating
peninsula
bro.
Matan,
sounds-
do you have a peninsula?
No, I don't.
If we're talking about words that don't,
Yeah,
that
words
don't,
that sound inappropriate
that
but
don't
aren't
make sense.
inappropriate. Peninsula
Peninsula's there.
It's,
Well,
it's
if
a
you
top.
just remove one of those ends, it's a peninsula.
Peninsula.
All right, well, let's talk some football. We had the combine this weekend. We had Jay, Bobby, and Kondo from last week's episode go to the combine.
We're going to have them on the pod.
People are
this
loving
week.
Kondo, bro.
Kondo's
He's so
around.
he's so
Who
likable.
doesn't love
He's
Kondo?
so
He's
likable.
around.
Well, he's also the greatest artist of all time.
Facts.
That is true.
Go listen to 24 by Kondo. on
But something
Spotify.
happened this morning.
Yeah, big news this morning from Schefter. Derek Carr to the New Orleans Saints.
Well, not yet. Not to them yet, but he's the favorite, right?
No. That Schefter's saying one thing. Pelissero, Garofolo, and Rap Sheet are all saying he's signed.
The ESPN notification says that the Saints have emerged as front runners.
Because
to sign
that's an
Derek
ESPN
Carr.
thing, though. NFL Network is Rap Sheet, Garofolo.
Sorry?
He's going to sign.
Cool. So
Derek
Derek
Carr
to the Saints.
Yeah.
What
Derek
does
Carr.
that mean for the Saints, do you think?
I think
What
not
does Derek
much.
Carr to the Saints mean
I
for
think
the
it's
Saints?
Not much.
obviously a good move. He's a good quarterback, but I don't think it moves the needle necessarily on them that much.
It does because they're going to win the division now. Who the they're the
You
only.
think the Saints are gonna win the
the only
division
team
with
in
Derek Carr?
The Saints are the only team in the NFC South with a quarterback right now. Kyle Trask is there. Marcus Mariota's not returning to the Falcons.
Falcons are going to get
Lamar
Lamar
Jackson.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. That's a different story.
Whoa.
But not yet.
The Panthers could get Anthony Richardson.
Woo!
That's true.
The
But
greatest quarterback
the
since
next
03,
candidate-
right
right?
now, the NFC South
Most
is.
athletic quarterback of all time.
But right now, the NFC South is Sam Darnold, Marcus
Gross.
Mariota / Desmond Ritter,
Sure.
Kyle Trask, and Derek Carr. Kyle Trask.
Yeah, who?
So yeah, the Saints
Florida.
are.
Yeah, so-
shout
so
out UF.
Florida.
I think
Yeah.
the Saints are going to win the division.
Well, yeah.
But like
That's not a
that's
hot
fair-
take. That's not a hot take.
That's not
It's not.
saying much at all.
Yeah.
Like, but also like it's not the same Saints team with weapons that we've known. Like
Correct.
in years past. Alvin Kamara had a kind of a fall off last year, honestly. Like Michael Thomas, I don't even think he's gonna be there next year.
I still think
Olave's
Alvin
nice. I
Kamara's
like
the top
Olave.
five.
Official.
running back.
NFL just tweeted it.
Official?
4-year deal.
Oh, okay. Officially official.
Hey, Mazel Tov, New Orleans.
Yeah, but I don't know. You got to get him more weapons if you're.
Well, I think, but that's
If you
are
get
their
Derek
weapons?
Carr, that means
They
you
got
think
Chris
you're a
Olave.
quarterback away.
Chris Olave a red flag in Michael Thomas.
I think he's a free agent.
he might be a free agent or a restricted free agent.
So there you
Something
go.
like that.
Guy
Like,
never plays.
I do think though, but the Saints are in a good position because if you have a quarterback now, you already have a Chris Olave, you do have Alvin Kamara, and a decent offensive lineman with good, pieces on the defensive end
Name
from
a
a Tyrann
receiver that's not
Matthew.
Chris Olave.
But
Right.
where I'm
I
going
don't
with
know.
this is that if
Traquan
you
Smith.
they could add a wide receiver, they could draft a wide receiver, and now you're in a good position. So I think the Saints are a better team than obviously what they were last year because they had Andy Dalton as their quarterback. But Derek Carr's a good quarterback. And personally, I think the Jets are fucking up by not signing Derek Carr.
100%.
Well, they might be not signing him because they
Because
have
Aaron
something
Rodgers.
greater.
But if they fuck up
in
with
the
it,
works.
I also think if you take Aaron Rodgers versus Derek Carr, yes, is Aaron Rodgers the better quarterback? Is he the better talent?
By
100%.
far.
But I'm taking Derek Carr for what my team needs because I'm not taking the $56 million because I have other pieces. I'm
take
not
it.
taking a quarterback that fucking hates young guys because look what he just did in Green Bay. I want a quarterback that's going to show up to offseason workouts and want to work with my teammates. And also, I want a quarterback that could potentially be here for more than a fucking year. year.
No, I want to win now. And then if that means I draft a quarterback as well to develop behind Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers has a couple years left. So if I'm the Jets, I'm bringing Aaron Rodgers right now because that gives me the best short-term window. And then long-term window, Aaron Rodgers isn't the solution, but I'm going to find somewhere else that's going to be able to help that. So like if that's a quarterback in this draft or next draft, I'm going to do that.
This whole situation is just so Jets.
So Jets.
Derek
the Jets
Carr
are going to
signing,
Jets this.
Derek Carr signing with the Saints is so fucking Jets, it's insane. Because the Jets always find a way to screw something good up. They're going to try and wait for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to play with the Packers next year. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be starting Zach Wilson again at quarterback next season.
I agree.
Jimmy G.
No, they're not.
They should do it, but they're going to keep holding out. They're going to be like, hey,
They're
let's
gonna
not
try.
sign that guy. Jimmy G's going to get signed by somebody. And then they're going to be left with Zach Wilson, the remnants of Joe Flacco, fucking Mike White, and then maybe some random
Chris
dude they pick up in the
Streveler.
fourth round.
Here's the take for you. I actually think Mike White might be the best option of those three.
And how pathetic is that?
Right.
Hey,
That's so sad.
That's not sad. It's very happy.
Poor guy.
Shout out.
You school.
Yep.
yeah, but like, dude,
I agree with you. The Jets are jetsing this entirely. And
Zach
makes me
Wilson
happy.
is the Jets starter next year now.
You guys are overreacting.
If you don't go and get Aaron Rodgers, then you just
That's cool, but you want to swing for the fences. Like you guys are acting like Derek Carr is the best quarterback since fucking Joe Montana, bro.
He
like
is.
He's a way
Yeah, but you said
bigger
something.
upgrade
You
than-
said something about Aaron Rodgers that is sticking with me, which is Aaron Rodgers still has a couple years from a talent and playing perspective. Yes, does his mind still have a couple years? Does he still want to play? Is he still hungry? I don't know.
I don't think he cares.
Well, he could have
I
retired
don't
already.
think he get. But what do you, dude? You're right. He could have retired already. And he's contemplating retirement.
He's a little bit over a year retired from back-to-back MVP.
I'm not
removed from
I'm not
back-to-back
We're not talking
MVP.
talent. We're
talent.
talking mentally. He just doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit anymore. And you have a young team, a very young team with a lot of weapons and a lot of talent. And I'm just saying, I think Derek Carr, because of the team that you had, made the most sense for what you're trying to build versus Aaron Rodgers, who's just swinging for the fences. I get
The
it.
culture they've been trying to build with Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh is a culture that if you don't want to be here, get the fuck out.
Exactly.
If you're not all in, if you're not working
that's
just
what I
as
was
hard
gonna
as that
say.
last round pick, I don't care. I
If
don't want
Rodgers does agree to go to the Jets, though, I would assume that would be with the mentality of like, yes, I'll buy in.
Theoretically,
Yes,
but
yes.
he
like,
he can
I don't
say
think
that
he would
all he
go
wants.
there.
That's what I'm
if-
saying. He could
He can say
that
it all he
all
wants till he
Right.
actually do
I
it.
I don't think he would go there if, like, I'm 100% certain that front office, I mean, the Jets, you never know. The Jets know the Jets everything, but that front office is saying to him, we will sign you and pay you this $50 million if you actually buy in.
That's
and
cool.
You
I will
coach up the
say
young guys.
these
you take
aren't-
the time from your personal schedule to get to know the teammates, do the things that actively build up a team.
And like
be a
these
leader.
aren't your same old Jets where they are going to vet those things out and make sure that he is bought in and everything.
I hope
but
not.
I just don't think that that's a bet that's not a risk I'm willing to take if I'm the Jets.
Well,
honestly,
we're going to see right away if Aaron Rodgers is buying in because the biggest holdup in not only him deciding is the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Many of these teams that potentially the Raiders, obviously, and the Jets are concerned with the $59 million that he's owed this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, frankly, that makes total sense. If I'm the Jets, I don't want to cap hit a 59 mil or whatever the contract is this year, just because I'm not one piece away. There might be a few other pieces.
but if he's the guy that gets you over the hump and can get you a
Facts.
Super Bowl, you don't
I
care.
agree with you. But how many quarterbacks have we also seen be able to win on this max?
But
Like
how many
this max
quarterbacks
deal?
have we
Patrick
ever
Mahomes is
seen that
there.
are like Aaron Rodgers?
And here's the difference. The Jets are young as fuck. Now, if Aaron Rodgers was, let's say, was going to play long, if we didn't know
if he was
about
32.
If he was 32 and he was going to get signed to like multiple years or something like that, then I agree with you because the cap hit's going to be huge. I don't know. You're better off investing in like a younger, maybe draft a quarterback that's going to be
just
on a
a
rookie
cheaper
deal
option.
or a cheaper option. But Aaron Rodgers is old. He has like 1 or 2 years left of max potential probably right now, and they're young. So I don't think that cap hit right now they can take right now.
No, I
As soon
agree.
as it's over, like I said, draft a quarterback now so that when Rodgers leaves next year or the year after, your quarterback is ready to go. He's been groomed by one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And now when you got to start paying Sauce Gardner, you got to start paying Garrett Wilson and
get that.
Breece Hall, then you can do that with a rookie quarterback. They're going to be They're going to set up a window now, and they're going to set up a window long term if they get Rodgers now and draft a quarterback.
So if you're the Jets, then what kind of quarterback would you want to target? Like, because you're not going to get one of those high level dudes unless you trade a bunch of shit.
You're thinking draft a quarterback in this draft
or next draft.
right?
That's what I was thinking. But it's decently deep. Like you could get a Stetson Bennett or a Max Duggan later.
The other thing is you have Zach Wilson.
You have to.
If you get Aaron Rodgers to learn under Zach Wilson, which I think should have been
other way around.
If you get Aaron Rodgers on your team and Zach Wilson learns under him, like that's in theory what they should have been doing the whole time. Is getting some sort of guy to coach up Zach Wilson essentially and
Joe Flacco
and bring him in. Yeah, right. Elite Joe Flacco. But I'm saying if you actually get Zach Wilson to go behind Aaron Rodgers and learn from him and kind of
which
get
is
that upbringing,
they had Carr.
We know his potential. We know the talent that guy has. He just hasn't been able to pan out yet. He's only finished 2 years there.
I think Zach Wilson's a lost cause. I think he lost the locker room. I think he lost his teammates. How he handled all that stuff last year.
I agree.
It was really unprofessional. I think it's hard to win them back.
I think without the advisory of an older quarterback, like when you're 22 and you're thrown into this into the league, with and you're just expected to like immediately gain the respect of a locker room. Some guys can do that, and not everyone can. That's a really hard ask, and the best quarterbacks do end up doing that, right? But at a young age. But like I think there is a guy like Aaron Rodgers could, in theory, set a good example for him.
Yeah. I mean,
now
Aaron
last year, I think he set a bad example for young.
I just don't know if Aaron Rodgers would care enough to want to help groom a younger quarterback. Like Brett Favre did not really want to do that at all.
And Brady didn't want to do it. Brady never did it.
They sent Jimmy Garoppolo the fuck out because Brady didn't want him around.
Fucking hated that competition. Yeah.
Like I just don't think Rodgers cares enough right now. If that does happen, I don't think you do it with Zach Wilson.
Well, yes, but what you threw out was drafting a quarterback. I think because you have Zach there, because it's only been has it been 2 years? It's been 2 years.
It's gonna be his third.
You have to. I think you give it one more year. I'm not saying with Zach, but like if you did get Aaron Rodgers, you don't draft one this year, then you revisit it next year.
Yeah,
but I still come back to with the Jets. It's like if I look at two separate scenarios here, right? One has Aaron Rodgers and this current team, and the other is potentially obviously Derek Carr with this Jets team and what the better option was. And if I could split Derek Carr's, like if he had the 50 mil and I could split it and it was like 25 mil and then give another 20 mil to another position, I think that Jets team would be a better team than Aaron Rodgers and this current Jets team. And that's all I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers is fantastic, but I think the Jets needed a Derek Carr with other pieces to get over the hump, that whatever size hump that is, than Aaron Rodgers.
And Derek Carr 2 years ago was fucking awesome.
He's a good quarterback.
So you think Derek Carr with the right pieces can win a Super Bowl? That's exactly what you're saying, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I do actually.
I believe that as well.
I don't know about that.
Because
I've never seen Derek Carr win when it matters.
Derek Carr is a Super Bowl caliber winning quarterback.
I don't know if he is. If you believe that, I understand your theory. If you believe that, here's where I don't believe that.
Quarterbacks need a defense. Who did they have? Who had a defense? The Jets. The Saints. The defense has always been there. Dennis Allen obviously took over for Sean Payton, but the defense regressed this year. I just think when I look at it, the reason Derek Carr never found success wasn't because of what his shortcomings were on offense. It was his defense. The Raiders were terrible.
I don't think they've ever had a good defense since he's been there.
So I'm just saying, yes, I do think Derek Carr has the potential to win a Super Bowl. Do I think he's going to win a Super Bowl in New Orleans? Absolutely not. Do I think he's going to win a Super Bowl? Absolutely not. But if he went to the Jets, they got a really good shot of making a run, and that pains me to say it. You get Aaron Rodgers,
I wonder if
it could implode very quickly because of who he is.
The Jets never ended up offering him, honestly. Like, is that the reason?
Well, he was the favorite.
He was the favorite, but that doesn't mean that the Jets ever offered him.
Right.
Like, fit-wise, it makes more sense than the Saints, but maybe like Derek Carr's camp found out, hey, the Jets aren't going to offer you anything. They're going to hold out and wait for a Rodgers, try and send Jimmy or something like that. Sense. Like, that's why he signed there. But now that Derek Carr is signed with the Saints, where do you think? Now that Derek Carr is signed with the Saints, who do you think will be the starting quarterback for the Jets in 2023, opening day?
Should I go out and say Aaron Rodgers? You have to. You have to go make a run. You have to go give him everything you got.
Yeah, but the question isn't what you have to do. The question is who is going to be like definitive.
All right, so I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers. I want to. That's what I want to see. I'll manifest it.
I'm going to say Zach Wilson. I think the Jets are going to find a way to botch this. They're going to try to hold out for too long. Rodgers isn't going to take it. I think ultimately he's just going to take whatever the biggest contract he's offered is. If I'm Aaron Rodgers at this point in my career, I kind of would do the same. So.
Yeah, I really hope you're not right because I'd love to see the Jets actually fucking compete.
Same. I fully agree, but I know
also,
the misery. Shout out my boy Silbo. I know the misery that these Jets fans go through.
I agree with you. I think Zach Wilson is as tough as I think there's a bigger chance that Jimmy G plays there than Aaron Rodgers.
All right, hear me out.
Who do you think?
Hear me out. Sam Darnold returns back to the Jets.
Oh, jeez.
He would have a
don't
much
think-
better situation.
I
That
don't
would
think
be
Jets fans would show up to games if that happened.
No, look.
They
Sam
would
Darnold was
boycott the
there. The
team.
Jets were
Not-
ass. Now they're a lot better.
Sam Darnold's not that bad.
He's not that bad.
He's
He's
not
not that
good.
bad.
A Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, it would be better too.
Bro, oh my, could you
They have
imagine
a lot of better options.
Could you imagine a quarterback room
Let's
with
just
Baker
bring over
Mayfield
the-
and Zach Wilson?
Look, again, I'm hoping
That
for it.
quarterback
'Cause I want to
battle?
see the Jets.
That's
Talk
like fighting in the
about
locker room.
leadership.
Bro, talk about a mid-off. Oh
I
my
also think
God.
Baker's a better quarterback.
Mid-off.
Baker's better.
But
Well, is it safe to say this though that okay, if Derek Carr gives the Jets a higher floor,
yes.
but it's a lower ceiling than Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Lower floor with Aaron Rodgers, but the ceiling is a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I come back to my point, which is like from the contract perspective, I could add another piece that could potentially get them
Derek
over
Carr
the hump
further.
and get
Well,
that ceiling higher.
Well,
but it's over with.
It doesn't even matter because
It's done.
Derek Carr
I
just
like the
signed with
Saints. Derek Carr looks sexy in black and gold.
He looks good.
Honestly,
looks
I think
good.
I don't think it's possible to look bad in the
Yeah,
Saints
they got
uniform.
underrated.
they have
great.
nice uniforms.
Yeah, they do.
I will say,
Underratedly great.
Not that it's a hot take. I do. The Saints will win the division and could potentially win a playoff game. I think so.
Yeah, they
'Cause
could.
you could add a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
The
Which
NFC
They have a
is
good
loaded.
foundation.
Draft pick, do
They
you
have
know
a good-
where they are in the draft?
Well, they
Fuck if I
gave their
know.
pick to the Eagles, so they do not have a top pick.
I love that you know that.
The fact that they traded C.J. Gardner-Johnson, if they kept him,
Lattimore,
and now you got Carr, like actually,
Yeah,
still
there's
got-
something
They
going
still
there.
got Demario
Davis
Davis.
is
They're in a
beast.
good, yeah.
All right.
They're in
Demario
a-
Davis might be the most underappreciated linebacker. in
Well,
football.
absolutely.
well,
That's a
speaking
different
of
I totally agree with
speaking
that.
of the draft, the combine was this weekend.
Yeah.
And you know,
I watched soccer instead of the combine.
Did you? Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't watch the combine.
Admittedly,
either.
I watched soccer over.
I was
which is-
watching the things I saw from the
pathetic.
combine were Jay Bobby's
Such a
Instagram
football guy.
story and
Football.
like
Shout
Jordan
out to
Schultz's TikTok.
Hey,
of
man,
Anthony
Schultz.
Richardson.
So, dude, people are throttle cocking Anthony Richardson.
I'm starting
right
to get
now.
on that one too. Not gonna lie.
Anthony Richardson looked very good in this combine.
No, he didn't. He looked very athletic.
He did all the things.
No, he made some good throws.
He
He
made
looked
some
good
great
passing
throws.
too.
He did.
He looked good
He did.
passing too.
So did Zach Wilson.
Sure. No, facts.
Okay, but
They threw a nice long
But
ball under no pressure with no defenders.
The conversation is now
him
being
picked.
had. The conversation is now being had amongst Twitter and just NFL fans
Sure.
that Anthony Richardson might be the most athletic quarterback ever.
No. It's not a might. Okay, actually, it is a might. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Just
I
say
was
what
gonna
you were about to
Mike.
say.
I was gonna say Anthony Richardson is the most athletic quarterback prospect or person to ever enter in the NFL.
Okay.
Like he's
Prospect.
Quarterback person to ever
quarterback person.
Quarterback.
Quarterback.
You know, my favorite quarterback
Nothing about
person right
those.
now is Dak
What about-
Prescott.
Nothing about those words were wrong.
I mean,
It's just weird.
I'm just trying to think
The
it
only,
through.
the only ones that like come to mind that might rival him is like RG3.
I was gonna
Nah,
say
he's-
RG3.
RG3
ran a 4.38.
No, but yeah.
Vertical-
He was a
vertical out.
collegiate champion in hurdles.
and-
I mean, Anthony
hurdles.
Richardson had himself a weekend, but can we put into context why we're saying Anthony Richardson is the most athletic quarterback to ever enter in the
Don't
NFL?
say we.
Adam is saying he's the most athletic quarterback to ever enter into the NFL. Athletic. This is not talking about. This is strictly talking
You're not saying
tangibles.
he's the best quarterback.
This
You're just
is
talking about most athletic.
strictly
Go
tangibles.
ahead.
Anthony Richardson's the most athletic quarterback to ever enter the NFL. Ran a 4.43. That's fourth among quarterbacks since 03. 40.5-inch vert, best since 2003. 10 foot 9-inch broad jump, best since 03. And then if we're putting that into perspective, who he is as a player, he's taller than George Kittle, bigger hands than D-Hop, higher vert than Devontae Adams, and a longer broad jump than OBJ.
This guy's a quarterback.
He's a
Hold on.
quarterback.
'Cause
He,
you kept
he should be a
saying-
tight end.
You kept saying
Anthony
since-
Richardson should be a tight end.
Wait, that's a good take.
Anthony
you.
Richardson would be a great tight
Because
end.
he can't
I know, but
throw
that's-
for shit.
Dude,
Well-
that's not totally true.
Nah,
I mean,
dude, he can throw it far. He can throw it
He
very
made some
far.
good throws. He made
for
some
him.
good
some good
accurate
throws.
throws. Led
He
his
did make some good
receivers.
throws.
Bro,
But it was
he
against
wasn't
no
going up
defense.
against
I totally
defenders.
understand that. But like the thought that a quarterback can't develop once he gets into the league is stupid. We've
Thank
seen
you.
it
Thank
happen.
you.
We've seen it happen with Josh Allen.
you-
We've seen it happen with Daniel Jones.
do you think that Anthony Richardson is going to pan out as a project in the NFL similar to Josh Allen?
Well, that's a
Similar to
tough
Josh Allen, now you're creating standards that are just tough because Josh Allen is a top 3 quarterback in the league right now, and to have that expectation is a little steep. But I do think he can develop his game and can become a good passer. Cam Newton became a pretty good passer. He was never extremely accurate, but he had great arm strength. He had great throwing power.
Yeah.
And because of his arm strength, he could finesse where he had to
Cam
finesse.
Newton, that MVP season.
Yeah,
my
you get him a
God,
deep
he
threat
was
like Ted
filthy.
Ginn like that made the
was
Panthers
filthy.
offense so powerful, just so explosive. And Cam's legs you could create so much offense with that. I think you can do a similar thing with Anthony Richardson. I'm not saying he's Cam Newton.
Yeah.
But Cam Newton was a Heisman winner, won the national championship in college.
I was gonna say there's levels to this.
Yeah, different thing. But I'm just saying in terms of development, I'm not expecting Josh Allen. I'm not expecting Cam Newton. I'm not expecting RG3 because RG3 before he got hurt with injuries and all that stuff was fucking amazing. I mean, he was
so good.
He would have been better than Andrew Luck if he
He's
would
one
have
of the
never got
biggest
hurt.
what ifs.
Yeah, but he can develop and improve his game and become better as a passer. So
Well, you could make the argument that if RG3 came into the NFL today, he'd be far more successful. I just think today's
no,
NFL.
no.
You don't think so?
He would have RG3 if it wasn't for injuries, he'd be a top 3-2 quarterback in the league today. RG3 was an amazing passer, a phenomenal passer. RG3 was Michael Vick. It was a great passer, Michael Vick.
He was an upgraded Michael Vick.
He was an upgraded Michael Vick.
He was so
I feel like
good, dude.
we should trust him.
No, I'm not refuting it at all. I'm just thinking through. Like, I think today's NFL is far more supportive of athletic projects than in the past.
But RG3 wasn't a project.
But the Redskins back then, they were one of those teams that's like, hey, we're going to use your strengths and try and win like that. I think it was Kyle Shanahan was on that offense. It was like the Shanahan, McVay, all those dudes' offense. Yeah. Like they put it to work and he was fucking awesome. And that was before defenses knew how to contain and play running quarterbacks.
But
That's why he was so successful.
If RG3 would have been a pocket passer, he would have been a phenomenal pocket passer. Like his passing skills were elite. He was good in every aspect.
I'm buying the Anthony Richardson hype. The only reason I'm buying the Anthony Richardson hype, regardless of college production, is because I saw what coming into the league from an athletic standpoint, a rushing quarterback did for draft stock. Lamar Jackson dropped tremendously. It wasn't that yes, he won the Heisman, but as a team perspective, Louisville, I think, went 8-5 that year. I was just looking it up. They weren't that good of a team. They weren't that explosive.
Historian, bro.
Thanks. Well, on Google.
A Google historian.
Yeah, Google historian.
Those are
so
the
I'm
best
just
types.
saying, I think, you have to still draft Bryce Young, but after that, if I'm swinging for the fences, if we're talking based off of the Aaron Rodgers, just purely off of athleticism, Anthony Richardson is worth a shot.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I just don't buy in at all to the hype. You brought up Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson won a Heisman Trophy. All right. Anthony Richardson has never had a good season in college where you've seen that guy in his full stats and you're like, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
But neither
he's
did
never
Josh
even been one of
Allen.
them. He's never.
Neither did Josh.
But neither
I don't
did Josh.
care.
But that's my point.
But that's the only example you can think of with
Yes,
that.
exactly. How many Josh Allens are there?
Agree, but that's
He's
what
the only example you can think of.
Agree, but that's why at this point I'm saying I'm willing to take chances because how
Because
many
of one guy
quarterbacks
that's paying
how
out.
many
Let me
quarterbacks have we
finish what I'm
potentially
trying to say, though.
overlooked?
I understand. Josh Allen, he's the only one I can think of like a project like that where he wasn't that awesome in college, but he's got these tangibles that you want to work with. He worked out. I can't name another one like that personally off the top of my head.
Worked out, yes.
Anthony Richardson was never one of the best quarterbacks in the country, let alone the best quarterbacks in the SEC. How the fuck are you going to draft a guy who loses to Vanderbilt last year? He threw 400 yards, but he threw 50 times.
Maybe the team sucked. I don't know.
The team did not suck. It's Florida. They get really good recruits every single
The team
year.
could also still suck though.
They're not that good, but they're not bad either. I just don't see. There's a lot of quarterbacks that I'd rather draft over Anthony Richardson.
So which
right now.
quarterbacks in this draft would you rather take
fun.
over Anthony Richardson?
Off the top of my head, or do you got a list?
Yeah, I got a few.
All right.
Would you rather take Bryce
Is this
Young?
a Jack game?
I think it's
Yes.
dependent on team, to be fair. Like Richardson, if I have a set quarterback, I'm more comfortable taking Richardson. A quarterback that, if I have a Kirk
It
Cousins.
does depend on situation.
If I'm the Vikings, I would draft a Richardson.
If I'm the Colts, I would. I've been swinging. I've been trying to get Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, all these old heads. I at least take a chance,
Yeah.
on a
I
young
think it's
athletic
team
guy.
dependent,
It is
but-
team
It is.
dependent.
You'd rather take Bryce Young,
Yes.
C.J. Stroud,
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett?
Yeah.
Nah.
I'd rather have Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett ran a 4.540. He had one of the top 2 or 3 hardest throws, 62 miles an hour.
That doesn't-
You'd
at
rather
the combine.
That
draft.
doesn't
You'd rather
mean shit,
draft
though.
And he's
Stetson
a
Bennett
two-
over Anthony
Yes,
Richardson.
and he's a 2-time national champion with Georgia. You don't just luck into championships. Yes,
AJ
they had-
McCarron
yes, they had
won 3.
Let me talk for once.
What are we doing here?
Fucking Christ, dude. Every time I try to start talking
Keep going.
and have a point,
Keep
you
going.
fucking
Just
interrupt
keep
me.
going. Keep going.
All right, I'm just saying, he's a 2-time national champion for a reason. You don't just luck into that. He was a Heisman finalist this year, which means he was actually one of the best players in the entire country. Yeah, Georgia had great defenses and everything like that, but he falls out in the best games. He has great measurables and everything like that. Yeah, he's a little shorter. People don't think he's that athletic, but he ran a 4.540. His arm is huge. He's a big game player. He's won 2 titles. I don't see why you would want to draft Anthony Richardson over him. I get he's got these tangibles. He's a freak, but
Yeah. Well, one guy won Stetson Bennett won, and winning matters a lot.
So did A.J. McCarron.
I was going to say, I think
he was
that's
also second in
I think
Heisman
that's a great point. Yeah, I think it's a great point.
A.J. McCarron didn't measure like
programs
Stetson,
win,
but
teams win.
Thank you.
We talk about wins not being a QB stat, and especially in college, I think that's probably even more true.
He's also 27 already. 26.
Stetson Bennett, so that factors in as well.
Yeah, he's 25, 26.
26.
But
yeah.
so I mean, I would take Richardson over him because I care about the wins less. I think you put another guy in that Georgia quarterback, and he's probably going to win too because Georgia has that type of program. Stetson Bennett was a walk-on, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm not saying anybody could go in and win, but a lot of other quarterbacks could have gone in and won. So I don't care too much about winning there, even though I do think wins matter. And it's not like Richardson was at a bad program, like Florida, like you said. But the tangibles, as we like to say, shown. You know, shown is the past tense of shine.
Really?
Yes, the
Really?
I believe so.
I don't think.
Shone light. Is that what you're about to say?
Shown.
Yeah.
Shine.
Anyways, the tangibles were so bright that I will take Richardson's upside
Thank you.
over a guy like Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
And I might consider it over a guy like C.J. Stroud.
What about
if
over
C.J.
C.J.
Stroud is the Jared, if Jared Goff is C.J. Stroud's comparison, like we heard last week from Sam Munson on PFF, then I'm like, look, yeah, higher floor than Richardson, but the ceiling for Richardson, if he can put it together, oh my God, it's scary.
Well, the reason I would
I got more quarterback, 2 more, but yeah, keep going.
Well, the reason I would take Anthony Richardson over a Stetson Bennett or really be willing to take on that risk is because I wonder how many quarterbacks have we actually overlooked in the past because they had the tangibles, but from a measurement standpoint or statistics, they were just trash. I feel like Josh Allen was like the first quarterback in a long time where you overlooked kind of what he did in college and were like, okay, that dude tests off the charts and I'm willing to take on that project. So I'm just curious, like how many quarterbacks have we overlooked? And Anthony Richardson, now that we're getting in this place where it's like, all right, we've seen a project there. We've seen a Lamar Jackson who is also considered somewhat of a project. I could justify drafting him as the third quarterback. If I'm the Colts, I could draft him. If I'm the Vegas Raiders, I could draft him. Like, I'm not saying the Houston Texans go draft Anthony Richardson over Bryce Young. You know what Bryce Young is. But if it's like, if C.J. Stroud drops, maybe you're drafting C.J. He's been, more productive at Ohio State. But Anthony Richardson, I think from a testing standpoint, is worth the pick at this point.
If a team reached and traded up for a guy like Trey Lance, they should do it for Anthony Richardson too.
Good point.
What about Will Levis?
I don't know who the fuck Will Levis is.
I
mean, I know
I'd
who he
rather
is,
have
but I don't
Anthony
know.
Richardson. I think Levis is really overrated.
Yeah, you've been on that train. You've been on the Levis train. Again, I guess off the Levis train.
And Hendon Hooker?
Well, he's coming off
Hooker's
ACL.
good. Coming off injury.
It might be spicy, but I'd rather have Hendon Hooker as my quarterback than Anthony Richardson.
It is spicy.
Also
definitely
was
shown-
in the Heisman conversation.
he's definitely
before
shown
he
a
got
more
injured.
complete
He would have
game.
won the Heisman if he didn't get hurt.
Right.
Or if they didn't lose to.
Where was he? Tennessee?
Yeah,
They lost to, was it Georgia?
He's
that-
also super athletic.
when the-
Has a fucking
Super athletic.
arm.
No, he's a way better passer.
Where was he
God.
Way
before
better
Virginia
passer.
Tech?
Hendon Hooker?
Yeah.
I think Virginia Tech.
I think it was Virginia Tech.
Pretty sure.
Shout out the Hokies.
Well, I'm excited to see how it pans out.
I think Anthony
I might
Richardson's
take
worth
Max Duggan over him.
No.
He also
I'm
ran a
kidding.
good time, like a 4.5.
Max Duggan,
Like,
he had a good combine.
Yeah.
Look,
TCU,
I don't know
baby.
who I don't know any of these guys pan out. But if I'm the Indianapolis Colts, I would love to draft Anthony Richardson. That would.
I don't think the Colts is a good fit for him, dude.
But
Because I think he's a guy that you have learn and sit for like a year.
yes,
or two.
but the problem with today's NFL is you don't really get that as much. You're not going to have as many teams
You're
to
not.
draft
Yeah.
someone early and then have them sit. You found it far more in the past, but today's you need it quickly, like a Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. You want to see
Especially
production right
because
out
you
of
got
the
to
gate.
utilize that rookie contract.
Exactly. Like
The
science
guy's
is
cheap
there.
right now. He's not going to be
Exactly.
cheap in 4 or 5 years. I guess in 5 years if you're a first round
Yeah.
pick.
So maybe it's unfortunate for Anthony Richardson's case where he's like not going to have that ability. But if I'm looking at teams that, I don't know, the Colts could be good.
And he needs to be paired with a good quarterback coach or offensive coordinator or
Yeah,
head coach
I think-
that has an offensive slant. If you had Andy Reid as his head coach, then I would believe in him so much.
Yeah.
But if he goes to a team that has no
Yeah.
type of program and no type of offensive like mastermind or quarterback guru, then I'm not as convinced.
I'm gonna be honest. I think there's only 3 quarterbacks in this draft that are ready to start year one, and that's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Stetson Bennett.
Oh my God, Stetson,
think
you're gonna
I-
put him in that class
Dude, he's proved it to me enough. He's mature.
because
he's
he won with Georgia.
He's led an offense for a few years. It's been awesome.
So did McCarron though. McCarron's
Dude,
a great
McCarron-
comparison because
McCarron
Georgia's
is
the new
not the
Alabama,
same,
right?
bro.
Georgia's the new Alabama in terms of just dominance in college football right now. I think it's a great comparison. McCarron
McCarron plays nothing like Stetson Bennett does.
Well, he's more athletic. Stetson Bennett's a more athletic
Way
guy.
more athletic.
Yeah, different play style.
The point is winning.
Point is winning.
with talent. So
you said
yes,
you're
you put
convinced.
Stetson
Winning
Bennett.
with
You
talent.
put Anthony Richardson on that Georgia team. We're having a completely different conversation.
God.
You don't know that though.
The greatest college football player of all
And
time.
Anthony Richardson has a career like 55% completion percentage. Stetson Bennett is above 70.
But again,
That's crazy.
I'm talking
Better
about the talent. I'm talking about the offensive line. I'm talking about the running game that could open things up. The defense that
The
you
running
can,
game's never been that great for Georgia.
Georgia.
It's been good.
They've
Georgia's
had
had
great
running backs.
recently.
They've had James Cook. Name another.
James Cook, Sony Michel was fantastic.
Sonny Michel was not with him.
I'm not talking about with Stetson Bennett. I'm just saying
Oh, I thought you were
Georgia
talking
is
with
running
Stetson
back.
Bennett.
No, I'm
DeAndre
saying
Swift.
Georgia as a running back team has always.
I thought
had
I
good
was
running
talking about
backs.
with Stetson
Okay.
Bennett. They've
Oh,
never
then that
really
makes
had that
sense.
guy.
No.
No, because they've had Nick Chubb.
Hey, Kenny McIntosh,
Swift.
bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to University School Sons. Look, 26 years old. You draft Stetson Bennett.
That's tough.
That's the reason he's fallen down draft boards. I think is because of his
no,
age.
it's valid.
Yeah. He's a
valid,
good
which is fair.
quarterback, but you're going for ceiling. You're going for ceiling. And I think if I'm looking around the league, Anthony Richardson, from a measurable standpoint, the ceiling is, you never know what's going to happen, So I'm willing to take the chance.
When's draft day?
I'm taking a chance. April 28th, I believe.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Wait.
Or 29th.
Jordan Schultz is reporting that Baker Mayfield's heading to the 49ers.
Whoa.
Is that true?
No.
I hope the fuck not.
Baker Mayfield's going to the 49ers?
What's the report, though, yo?
Wait, what's going on?
Jordan Schultz.
Yeah, but like,
Our guy
Friends of
Jordan?
game day.
is this like he's going there? Or is it like it's looking
I don't
like
know.
he's
Check
going?
his Instagram. That's
Oh,
producer Ben just texted me.
yeah, it's my understanding that the Rams would like to keep Baker Mayfield, but will have competition. The 49ers like Mayfield, and the Bucks are a sleeper.
Oh, so he's not heading there.
God damn it, Ben.
You said he's heading to the Niners in the text.
It says
Nah,
the
that's not
49ers
no.
like Mayfield and the Bucks are a sleeper.
No,
I'd
that is
expect
not
him
what
to
that
land
means.
a number around $8 million. He did not say he's likely to go to the 49ers. He said he can go to the Bucks as a
Ben,
sleeper.
Bucks.
God damn it, Ben.
Bro, it's
That's
Bucks
not
would
what
be
that
good,
Yeah,
means.
that was a bad
the Bucks
report.
will be good.
Well, good report by Schultz, but you misinterpreted. But I feel like Baker Mayfield has had the quickest like downfall out of any.
Yes.
What was it, like
Zach
3 years
Wilson's
ago?
got a good-
No, Zach Wilson was
Oh,
never
I see
up
what you're saying.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Baker was fucking like he had a really good year. Like
He was the dude.
Baker
2.5
Mayfield's a
years ago?
slept-on quarterback, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I think so
he is.
too.
I think
if
he's
you
part
give
of
him
the
right people
problem and
around
where
him-
he's been. I think he's been part of the problem where he's gone though, and part of it's his attitude.
Yeah, that's
Same
fair.
with Zach Wilson.
Part of the
Attitude.
problem.
But Mayfield
You're saying part of the
plays
problem.
a lot better. Yeah, part of the problem.
Okay.
Part
I
of
think
the
he's-
problem too is that he was just with the Browns. Like,
Yeah.
the Browns is just not it's not an organization that breeds success.
Yeah, but they
really.
put a lot of talent around him. A lot of talent.
But they're
around
also
him.
so run
did.
heavy, and he was never a quarterback that was just running play action out of the gate. Like put him in at Oklahoma, that dude was slinging that
You
thing.
make great commercials though.
He does make great commercials.
the Hulu ones were good for sure.
Yeah.
They do still
The
have
ones where
live
he was
sports. If you
sleeping
didn't know.
In the stadium? Those are
It was
good.
that was his house. That was hilarious.
Baker Mayfield on the 49ers though.
Well, I was saying that last year. Remember when he was rumored there? I was like, I don't want him right now, but if you get him an offseason to learn the playbook, that's a different
I
The
think
story.
Niners-
Baker Mayfield's better than Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
I think Baker Mayfield is better than Jimmy G.
Yes.
I don't know.
I
Jimmy-
also agree with that.
Jimmy
He has a high-
G-
Talent wise, yes.
Yes.
Ability to actually like
Playing the
football.
system.
yeah, play football is rough. Like
No.
Well, Baker
nah,
Mayfield went to
nah.
LA and off of 2 days drove a game, had a game winning
but
drive.
that was
How'd he
one
do the
game.
rest
That
of the
was one
time?
game. That was
Baker's a
one game.
winner. Nah, that's what Baker. You're talking about Stetson
So
Bennett.
is Jimmy.
No,
No,
Jimmy's
he's
a winner.
not.
Jimmy's a winner. But
I don't know if Jimmy's a winner.
Jimmy has the highest win percentage in 49ers QB history.
Won.
I'll tell you right now, the San Francisco 49ers could win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield.
Whoa.
I
What,
agree.
you think they could win one more than they could with Jimmy?
Yes.
do.
I don't
Yes,
think so.
yes,
Baker could
because
give
he's
him over
far
the
more
top.
mobile. He's a far more
His
mobile
ceiling is much
quarterback.
better.
Mobility doesn't matter.
he's got
as much
moxie.
if you're throwing
I
picks left
totally
and right.
disagree.
moxie.
He's got moxie too.
He
He
does
does have
moxie.
moxie.
got-
Him, Drew Lock has some
Bro,
moxie. like-
Jimmy G
Their
didn't
team.
fit the Debo Trent Williams vibe.
I
Like,
agree.
they're
You want
they're
someone coming out
swaggy.
with you. Jimmy G's
Jimmy
walking in
G's
the
not that
background
guy.
like,
You know,
Baker is that fucking guy, bro. Like
You know what?
Baker would be nice.
The
in that.
Niners just lost their boombox guy to go to the Texans with DeMario. What's it? I can't talk right
DeMeco
now.
Ryans.
DeMeco Ryans.
Demario Davis.
Yeah, I don't know why we were talking about him earlier.
Yeah.
No, the Niners need a new boombox guy. That could be Baker. He could be the boombox
Bro,
boy.
Baker would be kind of lit. In
He won't
San
play
Fran.
quarterback for us, so I think he'd be the third best one on the
now
team.
that
but
I'm
he'd
actually
be
thinking
the
about
boombox
it,
boy.
Baker Mayfield to the San Francisco 49ers or even Tampa is a pretty attractive
Well, Tampa,
thing.
I don't know.
I think
about.
I like the Niners
I think
better.
Tampa
The
is,
thing about the
Because
Niners.
Niners have a better roster.
Yes.
Obviously,
And we've been saying like
Yeah.
the thing that the Niners need is a
Quarterback.
is a really solid
But
quarterback.
dude, like
and
he's the
he
if you're the
can be a
Niners-
really solid quarterback.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think
agree.
if you're the
With
Niners, why
flashes
would
of
you
really good.
why would you keep you just keep trying with all these dudes. Like, just fucking stick to one person, please.
Well, they stuck with Jimmy G and it didn't work.
He got hurt.
Well, it worked pretty
hurt.
damn well.
Yeah, if you want to keep
maybe if Jimmy G was more mobile, wouldn't have
I
gotten hurt.
don't think that's it.
Wouldn't have gotten the ankle
he's made a
stepped
couple
on.
stupid decisions, but
Wouldn't have got the ankle stepped
All right.
on.
Well, this has been fun. We got to wrap up, but
You just never know.
the point is, Anthony Richardson's the greatest talent to ever step on a football field.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I'm down.
Well,
He
we'll
looks
talk
great.
about more. I think
It's also
tomorrow,
huge.
later this week, we're gonna have Jay
250.
Bobby on, hopefully, to talk about his experience at the combine. So
That's gonna be sick.
That'll
man.
be cool to hear about. But definitely, don't forget to check out our socials at Caps
Yeah.
Off
How long have we
Pod
been
on
filming for?
Instagram, Caps Off Podcast on TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube. Right below, there's a subscribe bug that Ben is going to put up right now. Right here. Right now.
Right now.
Right here.
Right meow.
Right now. So definitely subscribe. But yeah, we'll see you soon.
Nothing from Discord?
No.
All right.
Let's be done.
All right. Bye.
Love you all. Peace.
See ya.
Bye. Disagree with any of these takes? Let us know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, share this with all your friends. And for any of your betting needs, head over to thegameday.com for all the best sportsbook offers and deals.